Welcome back. This is a completely different show.
Yeah,
as
welcome
the
back
last
to a
show.
new episode.
Yeah, this show is called. I don't know what to call this show.
I don't know.
It's pivotal episodes. This is a pivotal episode where we talk about an episode that you. Well, I guess we both wrote this. We were both next to each other.
No, this was probably the most pivotal episode in my career.
But you know what? I got to pause here. I'll reintroduce. I'm Jim Krieg. As you know, this is Jim Krieg's TV Addict. This is my good friend and excellent writer, Jeremy Adams. I have a question for you before we even start. Are you cold?
I am not cold.
You're a little cold, I can tell.
No, I'm good. I really am.
think so.
I'm a little cold. I should have yes and that. Oh, thank goodness. Look at this. Look at that merch.
Look. Oh, don't you feel so much better?
I bet you got tens of cents for this piece of merchandise. $0.
I also.
What else? You're feeling.
I was talking away from the microphone. My
oh no,
producer is going
he's
to be
got
angry.
something else.
I'm going to put on. It's a costume change.
Oh,
we usually do this
it.
off camera.
He's putting on some more merch.
So your Scoobynatural
I like this.
cozy like plastic blanket.
Yeah.
It's like a hurricane blanket. My cat sleeps on that, by the way. That's a piece of legitimate Scoobynatural merch that I got at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And as is this, and I apologize to the audience who's just listening while they're walking their dogs. Jeremy's wearing a cozy Scoobynatural blanket.
Jinkies.
And I have this
shirt.
Jared and
Sam Winchester, which is played by Jared Padalecki.
Oh gosh, I thought a character's name was Jared.
And Velma.
It's been a while.
Velma.
And Velma.
Those shoulders.
The great Kate McCucci, who's so good. But this hoodie that I just put on is not a piece of official merch. This is I don't know what you would call it. A
Etsy,
counterfeit?
like a homemade. Yeah. But you gave me, during COVID, a I didn't bring it, my Scoobynatural mask, my face mask that I'm sure blocked all the germs.
That could have saved your life.
Yeah, it
fool.
definitely saved me from any supernatural problems.
This was another
unofficial
Scoobynatural
I see a lot of merch at conventions.
I never wear it because what I've discovered is the reason why these are Etsy's is because they're like temporary tattoos. You can wear them.
They fade out.
If you wash them, they're
getting a little.
It's the idea of it. And also, I mean, even the clothes themselves are.
We were excited.
We're going to start itching pretty soon.
Yeah. We were excited. I mean,
wait. Where's the calendar?
There, he's got a calendar, ladies and gentlemen, a paper calendar that has Scoobynatural things on it. This was a actual calendar.
Before phones, Jeremy. People would watch the date go by and these pages of a calendar. And look, this is a legitimate calendar with
from
scenes.
The episode, the much lauded episode.
Yes, much beloved. It makes your top 10 lists.
Listen, so let's talk about this real quick before we get into the episode.
So how did this happen and why?
It happened like this. I've been a fan of Supernatural from day one. I remember seeing the first episode going like, this is kind of scary. And I watch it religiously.
That's why I stopped watching.
I was like, I watch this all the time. It's two brothers in a muscle car listening to classic rock. This is all up my alley. It's very kind of like X-Files-ish. And my buddy became the showrunner around season 13. But
by buddy, I'm assuming you mean someone that you rent videos to.
No. Andrew Dabb, who's a friend of mine at the time, I had met him through my cousin, weirdly. Who my cousin online is like, I know a friend online. My cousin has nothing to do with the entertainment. My friend online, he's a really great screenwriter. You should read him. And so I said, okay. I was a producer's assistant. They sent me a script, and it was Andrew Dabb. And he was really good. And so we became friends. And at a certain point, he ended up getting a job on Supernatural. I remember because I took him to Sizzler for dinner to celebrate. Yeah, because he was moving out here. So he's on.
I just want to tell you, this is apropos of nothing, but when I started on Green Lantern, I'd met Bruce Tim casually through Dwayne McDuffie before, and Dwayne evidently had constantly be saying, you should hire Jim for nice. Justice League, and Bruce made that face, that famous Bruce Tim face, and But finally, I know what happened was Dwayne couldn't do Green Lantern, so he recommended me.
Yeah.
I met everybody involved. And then I came aboard, and then on my birthday, whatever that year was, back in 2010 or 9 or something, we all went out to lunch, and I mentioned that it was my birthday, and they said, "Oh, well, we'll take you to Sizzler."
Oh, hilarious!
And I said, I'm such a horrible person. I'm not going to Sizzler on my birthday.
Insufferable film student.
I know. Well, I'm also, as you know, a horrible snob.
I know that. Well, but that's
we went to the smokehouse.
That's fun. Well, that's a much better choice.
Yeah,
but I took Andrew because I think that's the only thing I could afford at the time, and he ended up becoming a writer since season 4 of Supernatural, and he's on the show. Cut to us at Warner Brothers Animation. They were looking for more Scooby ideas.
And you pitched a zillion Scooby ideas that it was said no to. And this was actually said no to as a DTV.
Not only was it said no to, I think the response was, that's a stupid idea. Not from you.
Oh, yes. Well, we know who it is.
Yeah.
And in their defense...
I get it. They don't know. It's a CW show.
No, I would say they're not wrong, because the Scooby DTVs are not for adult fans. They are for kids, and a young kid, wouldn't know what the show. I mean, unless they have terrible parents, or we're in a situation like you.
Yeah,
their parents weren't letting them watch Supernatural if they're about 6 or 7 years old.
That's probably true.
So it never was going to go.
That's right. Even though well, there's a whole other story about after this. But anyways,
yes.
So.
But then memes would come up, and you would say,
I would say we
should
do this.
Me.
Yes, I was for like a year. I was like 2 years. It was
funny because this is such a layup. It's like it's almost a clam. It's like I bet Shaggy and Scooby got stoned in the van. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like everybody thinks they came up with that joke, and nobody did. The joke existed before time.
So people like, oh, this would be great. It's like saying Ghostbusters in Scooby or Supernatural. It's like, oh yeah, because they're Supernatural.
And one morning, and I was in my tiny office. Yeah. It's Spike Brandt and Tony Cervoni had an office that at one time had an assistant office, like a little office side, and where someone would type. Or
take dictation.
Take dictation. And that's the office I got. I hung a picture over the door so you could see that it was the dictation room.
I remember.
And you sent me that another
meme.
Another meme. And then I went, I had a eureka moment of, it shouldn't be a DTV. It should be an episode of the show. And then we called and we got stupidly excited about it, because here's the thing we all know.
Yeah.
It could never happen.
It could never happen.
It could never happen in a million years.
You said you should call your friend and see if we can do that.
The odds of this are astronomical. Well, call your friend just to even see.
I'm sure we've talked about this before. And it's like, I'm going to do it. And I remember this. I said, but if he says yes, you've got to get Sam Register to say yes. Yeah. Like the president of Warner Animation. And you were like, just very Jim Krieg, no problem. Like that. And I called.
But that was, by the way, that was a lie.
And
that was lying.
I think it was the day we found. I think it was like we just found out that Andrew became the showrunner for the show.
You're right.
And so I called him up and I said, hey, I know this is crazy. Would you ever want to do a Scooby-Doo episode? And he immediately was like, yes, that sounds amazing. I said, oh. Okay. And then I hung up and I called you. I'm like, you're up.
Yeah, this was like if it was a railroad track, every single railroad tie would be a potential no.
Yes. And by the way, not potential.
Every 2 feet, there would be a likely no.
Yes. The whole time you and I were like, they're never going to let us do this.
They're never
every time.
So then I'm like, okay, well, then I went to Bobby Page, our great VP.
Is this before or after you got the Entertainment Weekly?
And I know, because she knew what it was.
Right.
And so she said, I think that's a great idea if you could make that happen, but you have to run it by Sam, which is something you never want to hear.
Right, yeah, you never want to run it by the boss.
And as I went through the lobby, is it Entertainment Weekly?
Yeah,
is that what the
Entertainment
magazine
Weekly.
is?
Yeah. Probably Samantha Hadfield.
And they had that. They were on the cover.
Yes.
And I think it might have been for a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And so I picked it up because I didn't know if Sam knew what the show was. And then I'd have a visual aid, and it's always, believe me, if you have a meeting, especially with Sam, it's good to have a visual aid because you don't want him looking at you. You want him
not
looking
your
at
hair,
else.
especially.
And I went in and I gave a little dance.
Yeah.
And he said it was like almost nothing. He said, "I effing love it."
It's amazing.
I went that fast.
That fast.
And then it was like then it was about getting numbers. And then what came out to is, well, we're waiting to see if the show gets picked up because you'd need so much more time to do an episode like that. Then it was on the back burner, right?
But if you remember, we had a meeting with Bobby, and she was, again, it was another moment where we were like, well, obviously they're going to say no.
Right.
And it was where she was telling the budget for the animation. And
it was our meeting with an Andrew.
It was we were with Bobby in a room, and we were called Bob Singer and Andrew. And I remember she said, "This is how much it's going to cost."
And you made a face like, "This is when they say no."
And I remember looking at you like, "Well, it was a good dream.
It was a good try.
And
we
then
gave it a shot."
There was a moment, and then it was like, "Oh, that's what we spend on music."
Yeah,
and we're like,
and then Bobby's face was, "Oh, why did I give them that number?" Because we could have done it right.
And I do remember that we had to wait till it gets picked up. But I do remember that you and I had kind of unofficially started working on it a little bit.
Look, if you have this idea, it's hard not to start making jokes about it.
That's
so
right.
I think,
and you were very quick because you're the Scooby-Dooologist. We're like, it's the night of fright, No
well, I thought it would. I think the best way I thought, since we knew they'd be stepping into an episode, or they'd be stepping into Scooby-Doo world, and it seemed like an easy way to do it is to have them step into a very specifically a Scooby-Doo Where Are You original series. By the way, I'm wearing
You're wearing the
I'm
socks.
wearing Scooby-Doo Where Are You socks.
Because this is going to be stuff that we're not going to have time to talk about in the audio commentary, but we did eventually start writing it ahead of time. Every time we had a call, I thought it's going to get stopped. And I very distinctly remember having the CW Notes call.
Oh, that felt like the French Revolution, like they're going to guillotine us.
Yes, and it was like, could you turn page 10 and be like line 6? That was pretty funny.
Yeah. If you're listening to this podcast or watching it on Jim Krieg's TV Addict, you should, and you're a professional writer or want to be a professional writer, you have this dream that someday a script is going to come back and there are going to be no notes.
Right.
And so I'm probably 20 years into my career at Scooby-Doo, maybe more, 24 or something.
Yeah.
And that had never happened to me. There were always notes. They're always egregious, and they're painful in a way that normal civilians don't understand. Because to normal people, all that can happen is they can lose family members and money and get sick and like real things can happen to them. What can happen to you and I is our words get changed.
Yes.
And that's true pain.
That's the worst. And I remember hanging up the phone, and you said, "That never happens." And I was like, I cannot believe that. And it just kept getting more and more real. And then when they announced it at Upfronts,
I asked them not to. I thought, no, what this is, because I'm always wrong, as you know. I thought the great thing to do is make this episode and then surprise the world with it.
Oh, no.
And Andrew just went, "Nope."
Yep.
Nope.
And
you just bring them along the whole time.
And boy, they
were
went bananas. They went crazy. I was at a Warner Brothers party in San Diego with Spike Brandt, who did the animation. He's the director of animation in this. And him and I sheepishly, we saw Jared and Jensen walk in, and I went up, and they had bodyguards, and it was like, I kind of pushed past, and I'm like, "Hi" to Jensen. I was like, was it Jensen? No, it was Jared. And I said, "Hi, I'm Jeremy. I co-wrote the Scoobynatural, and he directed the animation." And Jared went from, "I got to get away" to do whatever, to, "Holy Jensen! Like, these are the guys that did Scoobynatural." And he pushed us through, and they were ecstatic because
and
remember,
this before we recorded.
It was. It might have been after. It must have been before because they did the animation for so long, but the recording. You really helped out with the directing, the voice recording directing. Spike, I don't know who was the voice director
there was someone in
right,
Vancouver.
Vancouver, but
they were mostly making sure they got the quality of the recording because we were the Scooby
and
experts.
I was watching the Zoom in my apartment.
No, you were not there.
I was not with you. No,
it was just me and
you and Spike
and
I was in my apartment.
But you said you saved. Oh, you know what? Why don't we watch the episode and we'll just as we go, I'll pull out all the brilliant things you did.
As it starts. Well, as it goes.
So in case you're new to the show, and even if you're not, what you want to do is queue up the show. You can get it on
Netflix. Netflix has them all.
Whatever streaming service, because they could be watching this 10 years from now.
That's right.
After you're long dead and I'm doing great.
Yeah, just access your Netflix chip inside your head.
And my producer's gonna pull up it now, and then
he'll count us down. He'll count it down.
Okay, so imagine you have the show now, and you're gonna press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. So this is I do remember. I will have to talk about. There's almost a post-mortem because they premiered this at the Haley Fest. This is the first day of filming. So this is what's so great. I flew up there first, and I was there right after this whole dinosaur thing. I do believe the dinosaur thing was something that Andrew wanted us to add a little,
which is so strange because it's so cartoony, and we usually, frankly, get a little accused of being a little broad.
Yeah,
or at least I do.
Holy oil.
And this is very broad.
It is very broad. And it's very broad for the show too.
How, by the way, did we get there?
Oh my gosh. This is Jim Krieg has this ability to always take advantage of whatever. The minute we started working,
I will take advantage of you when I'm talking to the audience.
They said that we were going to do this. Jim was absolutely telling people, "Man, I really hope we can get up to Vancouver for the live action filming." I mean, the second, and it just until they finally said,
honestly,
"Yeah, you can."
As a writer, you are forgotten
the
minute it's humanly possible.
By the way, you look around because the prop guys kept putting a Scooby van. Wasn't it a Scooby van that kept moving everywhere?
Yeah, there's Scooby everything here.
Peter New, who's in 1,000 billion things, the nicest guy.
You've seen him in a million things, and he always plays this guy.
Yeah, so I'm up there.
But on our own dime.
On our own dime, we go up there, and but you get on set, and there's a chair with your name on it.
I have that. That chair is here
back
in my attic, just around the corner.
It's amazing. We got a lot of jokes in here, and even when we were writing the script, I remember there was a moment when it switches to animation that we said, "Now, don't worry, the script format's going to change."
Yes.
But there's not, it's not different. It's just we have to do this for the storyboard artists.
Well, also that is true. If you're in the audience, an animation script tends to run longer than a live action script, be it a sitcom or a single cam, because you need descriptions for every shot, essentially.
Right. But this is listen, this is kind of a chintzy way to get into it, cursed object in a TV. But I love that we had the Dean Cave. And
it was literally the first thing off the shelf.
It really was. And what's fun is after this show, I had come on to the show as a writer, and I was like, we got to bring back the Dean Cave. But they didn't want to recreate it. So it's there. She fixed it. Mrs. Butters fixes it,
I don't understand. They built it. Why not just leave it up?
By the way, it was amazing because we were there and we have pictures of us in it. A lot.
This show is already so old that the glamour of a large screen TV has faded precipitously.
But we're in Vancouver. It's muggy, rainy outside.
We were here
cold.
this night.
Yeah,
because there was so few nights of live action shooting that way. Right. I think we were probably there for the whole thing.
And Men of Letters. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we were.
There's tons of pictures of us. In this
everything. We were running around. We were in Baby.
Oh my gosh, lots of pictures in Baby.
So Jensen and Jared are incredible people, incredible actors, and they just really pull it off. What I think is interesting, a lot of times you'll have an actor, and they're great on screen, but they don't necessarily translate into voiceover. And these guys did a great job.
Absolutely. It was amazing. I think that they are very different skills.
Yes.
And they adapted very quickly.
Well, Jensen was the voice of Jason Todd in
Red Hood?
The Red Hood.
Under the Red
Brandon
Hood?
Vietti's Red Hood. Yeah.
I hope he will be a guest in shortly.
He was also the voice of Batman in the Tomorrowverse stuff, Tim Sheridan's Long Halloween, all that stuff.
Which is a fantastic series that I highly recommend to people. And once you've read it, I want you to go on X or whatever.
Tell people
how great it is.
Yeah. So one of the things I think was so fun, Dusty Abell did a lot of the character designs for all these things, and Dusty is a character unto himself.
He is.
Spike Brandt directed the animation. This is one of those moments when something happens as a writer and it's pulled off better than you could possibly imagine.
This happens rarely. In your imagination, it's usually better.
And then to top it off for our egos, they premiered this at the Paley Fest. Thousands of fans.
I found that video. There's a video of a news. It is a news thing about it, and it goes on forever. But since you and I aren't in it, I didn't bother linking it.
But I remember being in that room, thousands of people laughing over our jokes.
Oh, I almost shouted and told them to shut up because I knew the next joke was coming.
This was such a big deal. And obviously, I was a fan of the show, so I could pepper some of the things in. Jim is an absolute expert at Scooby-Doo.
You could even say I'm a Scoobyologist.
You are a Scoobyologist.
Look at that. Look at the 3D animation on Baby. Nice.
It's amazing.
This is one of the few things we actually had to talk about.
What?
It was this. Why is Baby there?
Right.
And because we wanted Baby to be there, right. and you and I were just like, who cares?
Yeah.
And then we went around in circles. It was like, well, no, Baby has to be there because it's near the garage. Yeah. It was like,
what? Didn't we end up coming up with something like, well, it's the keys to the.
You know what? We should have, if we'd been watching the show.
In his pocket, the malt shop, and then the minute they get to the malt shop and they see the Scooby van, it is jokes a minute, right? When he's like,
it's really interesting that they are very traditional Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but they also kind of act like their acting is a little bit beyond that because it's not all stock images.
Now, we originally, by the way, our first draft of this, we had a whole intro with the Scooby-Doo song, but we were trying to do
we changed the lyrics, did we?
And we had clips of Supernatural as animated, and they were like
too much.
We were already having to cut stuff.
So that image, right now they're entering the malt shop and you see the Scooby Gang dancing. And it was so easy to talk to Spike about this because he knows the show inside and out as well.
Yeah, genius.
I said, I want that basically the meme of them dancing.
Right.
Because there's, in classic, there's the shot.
There's the shot.
There's a limited amount of animation in the originals, and so you see the same thing over and over. Sort of like we were talking about in the previous episode, that you watch the same episodes again and again and again. Yeah. You think that there are only probably 13 or 14, maybe 18 episodes of the original series that you would watch,
right? And
then you would just see it forever.
Oh,
and so we know all these shots. So I don't know if you remember this, but Spike was halfway through the boards on this, and they had a room over the archive on the ranch.
Yeah.
And with the late lamented Warner Brothers Ranch.
Oh, sad.
Those were happy days.
R.
We didn't even know.
R.
But we went up there, and he had hung the storyboards all over the walls.
Wow.
And we walked through, remember?
Yeah.
And it gets to the scenes that are gruesome later because we were like, wouldn't it be funny if it could be gruesome?
Yeah.
And then we were both like a little taken aback, like,
when we finally saw the first animatic, I remember going like, that's too much.
I've been so beaten down by the industry. I was already like, we can take that out.
I know. I know.
Don't worry. I know that's a little, and they never did.
And not only did look at their
there's
names.
Our names.
So
if you're out of sync, that's what our names were.
Not only did they not take it out, but I remember being taken aback, and we were there with one of the Scooby executives, and I thought he was for sure going to be like, that's too violent. It got more violent. Like it was pretty dark. Now,
so there are animation jokes in here where we mention the fact that there are no words in the newspaper; they're just lines. Because when you're a kid, you're like, I can't read that.
Oh, and we were very absolutely like adherent to
that
the
world.
And the Night of Fright is no delight.
Well, actually, if we really want to split hairs out, I do. Night of Fright is No Delight starts with them showing up. I think they're already
that's right,
because it's essentially
I think they take a boat there, actually.
It's the Cat and the Canary.
That's
It's one of the oldest tropes in horror comedy, which is they're reading a will and you've got to stay there the night.
Yep.
And they're already there. So this actually it kind of is a prequel. This right now it's how they find out about it.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that I thought was so neat is Frank Welker, who voices both Fred and Scooby. When we were in that room and they said to him that we want you to sound like Fred.
But Fred from 1969.
Exactly.
And we pulled up a clip.
Yes. And he had to kind of regress.
And because
that's amazing.
It's really flat. He was really shocked. Oh, okay. So the sandwich joke is a great callback to what's the episode with the sitcoms where they're stuck in a sitcom?
Oh gosh,
it has a really funny name.
Changing channels or something.
Yeah.
And that I remember when he had to do it because he's like, hey, with the voiceover thing. Yeah.
And so yes, that's a callback, which of course fans love.
And I love that Dean is just like, I hate this perfect guy named Fred.
And Fred, what I love is that Fred never gets it. He lives in a perfect world where no one could hate him.
Well, and that's the thing about all those. Even when he's hitting on Daphne, she's just like the only one that has any sort of sexual aura is Velma. And she's just like those shoulders, like that is, it's a hilarious thing. It's like, girls don't sleep in the same room as boys. Like, that sort of thing is really
so
silly.
Sweet. You put in I did not, the shoulders thing surprised me. That was like a late addition. I'm like, okay. Or probably more readily is because this is how writing partnership works. It's, well, they'll probably cut that out anyway. But so why should I say anything?
That's garbage.
And then later, like, no, it's great. There's a truism about writing, and it's that when the reaction comes, if you have a co-writer, if it's successful, you know that it was your idea. And if somebody doesn't like it, your brain tricks you into thinking your writing partner did that.
Right.
And I wish human nature was different, but it isn't, unfortunately.
Well, and also you're talking about writing something that you then spend a year before you see it. At least. And so it's all foggy anyways. But you and I had written so much. I had written so much for you too, that I think I was primed. I also love the voice of this guy who sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. was like, do the clown.
Oh, it's Casey Kasem.
Yes, in the original.
It's Casey was doing Colonel Sanders.
And when you go through these names, these preposterous names, but it is.
You know what? Spike did is he dug up the boards. He dug up the boards for this. They dug up the music cues. The music cues ended up being more expensive than they.
Oh,
chose.
Really?
Yeah, but the idea of them using those cues that you remember your mother, but just before then, your sense of memory goes to the music cues of Scooby-Doo.
I'm impressed because obviously the animation. Spike just did an outstanding job putting this all together because it is the episode. It just happens to have, the Winchester brothers. And I think when people come up and talk about this show a lot, really they talk about the slide into existential dread that the Scooby Gang
has. The first half is a Scooby-Doo episode, and the second half is a Supernatural episode.
That's right. That's right.
The shift. You see it when it happens, and it's very strange.
I also love. We'll get to that part, but
I do think it would be in bad taste that when I pass away, many decades from now, if I record my will on a LP record on vinyl, and then like you all have to come to the chair. My producer loves this idea. Of course, he's very excited about me passing away.
24 hours.
Yes, that you have to sleep in the
haunted RV.
Yeah. Do we need? Okay. So
it turns out he's the bad guy. The fact that Dean knows this episode too?
Just to get this out of the way, there will be no fortune.
Yeah, no. But that's the joke.
For the descendants. There is nothing.
Way,
I believe in Confederate money.
Yeah. Boys and girls don't sleep in the same room, silly. Now, Grey Delisle is not only a genius, but anytime she does anything, I think it's funny is Well, I can't. It is funny because she's also incredibly hilarious as a stand, but she's also dirty comedian.
Oh my gosh!
And so when she does it as a character, that's really hysterical. So when they do this and they come out in the
oh my gosh!
sleeping gown,
How on earth? This is you. This sounds the
sleeping robe.
The sleeping robe.
But I mined it again in another episode of Supernatural where
he's wearing it.
He's wearing it in real life, and he's like, and he does this thing where he lifts his leg up. And Sam's like, oh gosh, like he sees too much. It is. I thought the big lugs were your kind of thing. I like that they have it. So again, the episode, we're trying to fill it out a little bit because the episode goes, the basic Scooby episode is a little long. This is exactly where I realized this is either going to go or it's not going to go because the violent reveal is so vicious.
Well, even this, I mean, this is scary.
It is
for a little. And there's probably kids whose parents stupidly let them watch this.
Yeah,
and they'll never get over it.
This is also
ruin them forever.
People have told me this is very much the gateway drug for Supernatural. This is the one you show people to go see. Isn't it fun? And that, I mean, you and I realize how really blessed we are to step into a show that's been running on for 13 years at this point. Do an episode that is a standalone episode.
That is another thing that never happens.
Never happens.
It's actually, that's happened twice in my career.
Here it comes.
Because
Ready?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh, we knew this.
Yeah.
Actually, this gag we knew was coming.
Oh, that's right.
From.
No, this isn't the one. I was thinking the Hellraiser one with the chains that comes later. That's even more vicious. Jinkies. Ready?
Jeepers.
This is the first joke.
This is the first thing we came up with. Rut-row. I thought we'd have to bleep out bitch, and I don't know why.
No, there was another word.
Yeah, that was literally the first joke we came up with. And as soon as this was announced, someone tweeted it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, do I need to respond to this tweet and say, it's in there already. Don't feel like you can sue us.
Oh my gosh. Originally, I mean, it's been long enough now we can talk about this. But when they announced it and people were like, Dean is attracted to Daphne. And it was like, you and I were freaking out because people were getting upset. And we're like, in our heads, it was like, they're 40 years old, but so is Daphne, sort of.
Well,
yeah,
if Daphne was 16 in 1969, I mean, it's just a different
And also,
world.
he's a cartoon, and and I remember getting a call, and it was like, do not respond to anything. It is Kobayashi Maru. I love that. So the thing we need to know about Jim is that Jim is a classicist when it comes to Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yes.
There is no Supernatural. Velma is going to hold that line. And
which has gotten me in a tremendous amount of trouble.
You and me both. But that is, I think you're right. That is the basis of Scooby-Doo. It's about showing kids that there's a man underneath the mask.
Well, and that's it. And to some extent, it is you can solve your problems.
Right. Now here comes Misha. Oh, Castiel. Fan favorite Castiel. People. By the way, when they cut out the dinner scene from the actual airing episode.
So there's a bit, you can find it online. Well, I should have put that online. It's a classic Shaggy Scooby bit where suddenly they're dressed as other characters, hot dog vendors or parking meter attendants, or and then they do a bit with the monster, and then their costumes come off and they're exposed and start running again. And it seemed necessary.
Right.
Oh, this is a line you added. You added this on the fly. It was the Philistines.
Yes.
Oh, no, that's later.
That's later. The pack of Philistines. Yeah, I remember that. I think this was Andrew. I think Andrew added the Queen bit. It is funny. This is a funny cutaway. And, of course, Misha Collins is an incredible actor. Castiel is fan favorite. Being able to put them all in is fantastic. And there is just something so weirdly meta about it, especially for an angel that has never seen the show, to have that extra fish out of the water.
I think he doesn't even know what a cartoon is.
No. And he's like, this dog is talking, The stupid ascot.
What I like about it is that we didn't just have him show up through magic. That we needed an explanation of when he got there.
Yes.
and what he saw.
Yes.
And
there was a show when I was growing up called Kid Video that would go from live action to cartoon occasionally. And is
that the one with the flip side?
Yes, the flip side.
So it wasn't mentioned on Through the Word podcast.
They didn't go back and forth. It was like they would have music videos, and the whole opening is them we basically ripped off Kid Video. They get sucked into a cartoon. I love Scooby, but boy, it starts escalating. The deaths start escalating.
Yes, and also
the
breath. They can see their breath.
Yes, just straight from Supernatural.
Never happened in
the cartoon.
But yeah, see, it is clearly scarier now.
Oh no, this is the scene. This is the scene that when we open the door.
This is what we saw in
yes, that I was like, uh-oh.
They're gonna cut this.
Yeah. Splatter. And I really thought,
you know what? I've never had anybody say it. Was
Spike?
anybody scared here? Maybe tiny children were.
Maybe. I literally thought Spike Brandt is an insane person. This is so violent.
Well, him being insane and him doing a good job on this have no
That's
correlation.
But I remember us having very distinct conversations about not just when they do the pull of the bookshelf. It's like that book has to be colored.
Yes. So the book, all the other books are painted and part of the background, but the book that moves has to be clearly. On an animation cell, because all those details are so important. Amazingly, Spike is a real student of animation and loves. He and Tony did a ton of Tom and Jerry's.
Here it comes. A decapitated head. I mean, it's the ropes and the dripping. Well, that's not good. Fred, come on, Gig, and he's just immediately like, "Well, let's go solve this." And they're like, this is messed up. People are dead, but they are in Scooby. They're Scooby still.
I think they can't wrap their heads around it.
Yeah. Prep Meister Fred, the ascot.
Okay, we should all split up and look for clues.
Yes.
Is the closest thing that Freddy has to a catchphrase, so it had to be in there. But this is. It was so funny because
broad-shoulder fella like you.
It's such a funny thing that that the iconic things in a Scooby episode. Translated to us as to what had to happen next. Well, now they have to split up and look for clues.
Yeah.
So and then that's also we're going to do the hallway gag.
Right.
And that restaurant thing that we weren't able to do.
Right.
Actually, I think they're just dressed as waiters, but
that's
they might in
they're
another
waiters
episode they could
because
have been
we had
women.
to get to the salt. We had to get to the salt, which is the anti-ghost thing.
That's possibly you needed to explain that to me.
Yeah. Because, being a student of Supernatural as I was. But it is that you got to split up. You got to follow the kind of trajectory of the show, and then.
Well, in some ways, it's a legitimate mystery.
Right.
Even at the very beginning in the live action footage, there's a clue between Jay and
right, which by the way is named after Jay Bastian, who is one of the execs that oversees all Scoobiness.
And he is I believe he's a current exec at he's a great guy, and then Alan, the other live action guest star was named after Alan Burnett, my mentor and our
great
patron
friend.
saint.
Yes, patron saint Alan Burnett. Though
he is my Mr. Miyagi, although he didn't make me do anything hard.
He's so great.
Well, I guess John Semper is in. I did have to work.
But also, one of the things we try to do is and you can hear it in the dialogue, especially here, is that Sam is deconstructing, because he's not a fan of Scooby-Doo, and he's deconstructing the fact that she's like, they're all bad real estate developers, and he's like, there are better ways to screw people out of money than setting up a haunted,
You say that, but really, what are they?
No, name them now.
Yeah.
Go top five. But I love that he's trying, and Velma very quickly is like you. So it worked for both of us going like, wow, this is kind of stupid, but also, no, it's not. How dare you?
Do you know ironically, of course, it is usually classically a real estate developer with a scheme to scare other people away. When I worked on What's New Scooby-Doo with Ed Sharlock and George Doty, we did, we had to pitch the show to the network, and we did a big
there's the
dog
book.
And there's the book.
Yeah.
And we had talked about, well, let's blow this out. And what are all the other motivations for doing this?
Yeah.
And it's sex, infidelity, and homicidal mania. And it was like, well, then let's maybe stick with greed and the real estate agent
palatable,
angle. Unless I
okay,
may be wrong.
Here's a funny line.
The funny thing is, it's a funny line, but also this is the oldest joke. Like we supernaturaled it up, but glowing eyes in the dark is as old as the hills.
But also there's the joke that's coming up that they're there, and I think it's Castiel says or somebody says is that you grab the thigh of the ghost or whatever. And Castiel's like, what?
No, wasn't that moment?
And that's what happened, but they reference it a little bit, Larry. And I love that Castiel is still kind of ambivalent, but he is, when we even talked about this, we were talking about how they're all very similar. Look at this.
I have to stop.
Get ready.
I have to stop to say that you and I wrote a song.
Oh, we did.
We wrote a terrible pop song to go here.
Scoobynatural song.
And it's great.
We did. I remember that.
Do you have it written down anywhere? Because maybe I'll post it in the notes.
When we do, where's Scrappy comes by.
I'm making this up off the top of my head because I'm a creative like you.
Look at Spike doing the booty on Daphne.
I said this is gonna get cut out.
Yeah.
But I think we put the lyrics of the song in the notes to this show.
Oh my gosh!
And someone can write in their tune,
yes,
and I'll send a copy of this. Maybe the winner gets the 2019 Scoobynatural calendar. I just made that up right now.
That's really great. Yeah, no, I remember us doing the song because we didn't think we'd get that song.
The song was so funny. And it was also, we did it very specifically like a terrible pop song from 1969.
And this is where things really start spiraling, because at this point that's so this is the moment where things get real, you know, because in the fact that he breaks his arm.
That sort of thing didn't happen in Scooby-Doo where people are injured. I don't think there was no thought of.
And this leads to what I think is my
my
favorite part.
Existential. It's a lot of people's favorite part.
Because when Fred starts hitting his head against the tree, I'm like, this is fantastic. But I ended up buying, I don't know how much Scooby merch from this.
That I asked you to bring.
I know.
And you brought none of it.
No, I also, Target at the time put out the night at the whole original episode, not of Scoobynatural, but they put out the figures from the night of Friday's No Delight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they had the chain. And
Uncle Simple?
Yeah. No, just that guy and the Scooby Gang. But that's iron. I think it was iron candlesticks. We had to be very clear.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that had a little exposition.
Yeah.
Toss me those iron candlesticks.
Yeah. Just to make sure. Wish worry.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is Real Jeopardy.
This is Real Jeopardy, and this is where commercial break.
So yeah. That's for the younger viewers. That's where the commercial would go, and.
And
for those of us who are trained in early Saturday morning, act breaks mean
Superman.
Character is falling.
Yep.
And by the way, we had nothing, and we said, well, maybe Cass's coat opens like a parachute.
That's right.
And then that's the sort of thing you can, or we'll come up with something better later. And then the one thing leads to another, and there it is.
And this is it. This is where everything goes. It's Shaggy's losing it.
Yeah.
Because he's right. Finally.
Yeah.
They're right.
He's been right the whole time.
And I love him recounting.
And the biplane is from the first episode of Scooby-Doo. And I don't know if I don't know if I will get dinged for humming this, but there's that classic Scooby-Doo chase music. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And you listen to that as a kid, and then it goes da 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 da.
Yes.
And that's from when he jumps into a biplane in the first episode, and it says "Up we go in the wild blue yonder" because it's scored to that episode.
Oh, that's funny.
And then they just used it as library music.
Wow.
So it's every time it happens as a little kid, you're like, why is it up
Why
we go into the wild blue yonder?
That's
if
funny.
you were a sort of kid who knew that cue anyway, which I was.
So here it is where our guys tell them the truth. And they don't take
I think,
it
kids,
well.
what we've learned is the truth is a disaster.
Yeah.
Do not know. And
Don't take the other pill. Whatever it is.
Yeah. What's the one you're?
And it's just
what's the one that keeps you in the Matrix?
What I love is
my gosh, I thought I was blind without my glasses, but I'm just blind.
And it's also that Fred he's actually like, I could have been hunting these real things instead of real.
Yeah, well, they all
I
have
like that
totally,
bravery. Here it is.
His attitude is consistent.
Right.
It's like he would still have the same job as a mystery solver.
Am I going to hell? I like the kind of like, oh no.
Well, she extrapolated that pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't really give her an opportunity to be saved.
And then Dean's like, no, this is his show. We got to get really pumped.
Well, so you, as a fan of Supernatural since season 4, did you
Since
just
season
say
1.
you must have just said? Oh, you must have just said, oh, it's Dean. Dean's got to be the one who loves Scooby.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because Dean is the less responsible of the two brothers, 100%. Because when the show starts, after what happens in the cold open to his family, you meet Sam in college.
Yes,
years
I
later,
do remember that.
Dean's still.
He's got a girlfriend.
Dean's still in shady motels hunting with his father. So of course what's going to be on a shady hotel TV? Scooby is going to be. And when they were growing up, Scooby, they talk about it. Here's the trunk locks. Here's where the one thing they bleep out, right? Or did they just bleep it out? Take this. When you said the Scooby-Doo.
I had Scooby-Doo. I had that in my back pocket for about 10 years.
You told me that while we were breaking it. And I was like, are you kidding me? You've been saving that gem? But
for just such an occasion.
You're going to build a trap.
There is...
I love that this trap is absolutely insane.
This is
Fred trap.
Aside from the Scooby supernatural, aspects of the iron and things like that, I think it is the trap from the episode. It goes in the washing machine.
Right. Yeah.
But because they're all stupid.
But
I think that's got to be the hardest thing. You're Ruby Spears and you're breaking this thing. It's like, what's the stupid trap we got to come up with?
I think they were all high. Like, most of the time. It's like, oh yeah, coconut. Where'd you get coconuts? You're going to end in a washing machine? What?
I
love that they've animated Misha to be walking.
Yeah, he gets his own walk cycle. I didn't come up with this pitch for for Supernatural till years after the show's off the air, but I think here's my pitch. That they're using stolen credit cards. You know, I think they finally meet somebody whose card they used, thinking, well, I'm sure they just got their money back, and their life was completely ruined. And it's like they have to put the guy's life back together, and somehow with them something supernatural has come. And
I love that.
And but now it's too late. I come up with those ideas.
Great ideas.
Too late.
Well, one of the fun after effects of Scoobynatural. Not only did we meet. The Paley Fest, this goes off like Hitch. We also have that great picture with us. It's like ugly person, handsome, ugly person.
So this is my advice to the audience is like, if you are going to be in a group picture, do not stand next to either of these guys.
The handsome people.
Put a writer between you and them.
The other thing that was amazing is you and I got invited after this to a Supernatural mixer at San Diego Comic-Con.
That's right.
And we went because who doesn't want a little adoration in their life?
Yeah.
And
we got about 3 minutes of that.
Yeah, and we were there, and you remember the one person comes up, he's wearing a toque, and he's like, "Hey, are you guys writers for Supernatural?" We're like, "Yes, we are." And he goes, "I'm a writer too." And I remember us both going, "Uh-huh." And then he says, "I'm Peter David." And perfect Scooby cadence. We both go, Peter David. And then it was like us. And he was such a Supernatural fan. He spent the time trying to pitch us Supernatural.
We got no way
I want
to
know
help
about
you.
Trancers 4 and X Factor and Hulk, and Star Trek. But this was kind of like the dark turn, a little bit of like, well,
anytime there's
kid.
a child in jeopardy, that's always hard. Do we see this kid as a live action kid?
No, yeah. Well, evidently no. I don't think so. So what's interesting?
look at this expo. When I die, let me tell you what happened.
Yeah. And by the way, I remember them trying to film that scene to try to get it so you could see the pocket, the thing going in there. The other thing that was interesting about this was about the day that we landed, the minute we landed, Jim not only got us to Vancouver by basically hinting that we needed to go to Vancouver, he immediately started saying, hey, it would be really nice if we got on screen sometime. Is
that how I said it?
It was something like that. It was loud enough for people to hear. And also, you remember there was that girl that was there that was like a fan.
Yes. She was great. She's a super fan, and she came from enough money that her father bought her a
baby,
a version of Baby, but had taken the car completely apart and rebuilt it with a roll bar in it in case she had an accident.
But they said, okay, we got to be in the show, and we'll point out the episode you can see us in.
It's coming soon enough.
What also is interesting about this episode?
Look! We want to put all the pieces back together. It's like we can't leave the Scooby Gang believing that ghosts are real, which of course has been my mission
in
the
all
entire
of
time,
Scooby-Doo,
and
for
that
all of time.
I've been trying to make the ghosts real estate developers.
Hammer it back into
and boy, have I paid the price for that. because evidently if you grew up on the DTVs that started in the 90s in a post zombie island world, then I'm sure that writer came in and said, wait, I've got a great take on you. Let's turn this thing on its head, and the ghosts are real. And somebody said, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. It's a great flip. And X-Files is on. I don't know if X-Files was on. But to me, that seemed so abhorrent. It was sacrilegious. I mean, literally, Carl Sagan said, this is a great cartoon because it teaches children that they can solve problems with reason.
It's Sagan.
And I have I believe in the supernatural.
Right.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be true to the original concept of the show, to me.
Right.
And that's why, and also I came from an era of people who hated Scrappy.
Right.
And that is hard to understand if you're say 10 years younger than me and grew up with just Scrappy. But I even bothered me that Scooby is a dog who can sort of talk.
Right.
But Scrappy doesn't even have a dog accent.
Right.
I didn't really. Is he? I guess he's a puppy, but he has perfect diction.
That's so funny. I mean, but I knew that because I knew how. Like I said, you are a classic Scooby man, but that made it perfect for this because that's the whole twist of it. Is we're playing with the ideas, we're confronting them, we're shining lights. That's what's meta and postmodern about it. What is also interesting when we were on set and the moment that Jensen came in wearing the actual ascot.
Oh, that's funny.
First of all, I hope he still has that.
I'm sure.
Or
it's behind
on eBay.
Let's say it's behind glass.
Yeah, somewhere glowing. Because I just
look at the walk cycles. Everything they did was perfect.
I remember sitting there I started hearing laughter before I saw him. It was people on the crew going, and then you see it and you're like, this is absolutely insane.
Well, it's so nice that they did think, oh, this is stupid. I'm embarrassed.
Yes.
I can't believe I have to wear this. They were so
that was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And that that includes the Cartwright twins was an Andrew Dabb ad. I want the world to stay. He did that. He's done that to me a couple times. And I have a feeling he's doing it because he knows how much of a square I am. And he just wants to make me feel a little uncomfortable.
You and me both, brother.
Oh, man. So what's really cool, too, is that this whole room was really neat.
Yeah, we hung out in this room. Yeah. There was a foosball table. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just leave it up and use it as a standing set for, some other thing.
I know. Poor and very, look, it drops out. And now what's really fun about it is these guys are going to confront the bad guy just like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Well, I think everyone watching this podcast knows that. I'm so curious as to whether they just listen to this and put the show on the TV or whether they're watching us just sit here like goons.
But also, there's a kid.
The kid is here. I forgot.
The other interesting thing was the cops have
if you look closely at the police who arrest, is it Jay or Alan?
It's Alan. No, Jay.
Well, they have a Crystal Cove.
Yeah.
Patch.
Peter New. That's all I know is the real name. Yeah, the Crystal Cove patch.
When you have a real show with a real budget, it's just amazing.
They can do things like
back.
props, things that you will never see. You will never see on camera. Like that was something that I looked for. I'm like, how can somebody's got these patches from Supernatural? I want it. And look at how hard.
Look at it, like it's a sad moment.
Sadness.
I don't know. I mean, he's going off to live in the afterlife with his dad, I guess.
And here you go.
Oh, he's just about to sign
it. There was the Scooby thing or whatever. It was in the glass. And again, it's all about
is a real estate
developer. Bad.
Is he really that sad to watch this terrible pawn shop disappear? I mean, maybe go down to Florida or something.
Don't do it.
Oh, it's so close. We're so sad that he's.
And he's got the ascot on.
Okay, I was just about to say we call that out, right?
Oh, totally. And the fact he doesn't just touch it; he kind of caresses it. Like, yeah, it is. And I love how uncomfortable Jared is. Like, ugh, this is a little weird.
It's damp in Vancouver.
It was
cold and damp, and we would walk outside and we'd come back in,
and we could take pictures in baby and etc.
You know what Bob Singer said?
I love this. This is my favorite Bob Singer quote.
Oh, he said, "You're the best writers we've ever had on the set," and we were both got a little puffed up, like we're really good writers. They said, "You never said a thing,"
and which, by the way, is another Jim Krieg. I remember on Green Lantern animated series, you were like, "Don't say a word." If you're going to go into the record where we're going to, you don't say a word. That is what you do. You sit there. You do not make a stink. And I remember being in that record, and Bruce Timm was talking to you. He goes, I wonder what the writer meant about this. And I'm like, this is a test. This is a test. Don't say anything.
Well, if someone asks you directly, you do. But writers we're so lonely.
Oh, I know. And,
we want to talk
by the
all
way,
the time.
when I did Soul of the Dragon, when we did that with Bruce, I remember being in the room. And he said, and I didn't say anything. And then I suggested something. He's like, that's a great idea. He goes, and then I did another one. He goes, nope, go back to quiet.
Here
we go. Get ready. Get ready for our big cameo that is going to be hard to see.
Before we get there, I just want to say, Alan told me a long time ago.
Look.
Oh, there. Okay, I can see. Oh, look at your terrible hair. I would never give that guy a job.
Oh, come on. There. Look at you. Look at you, camera cheat your head.
I hope you have. I'm trying to lean over his giant shoulders.
And by the way, there's tons of fans across the street, looking. The fact that they
there's too much you, not enough me.
They irised in on this is insane to me.
I think we wrote irised in.
Yeah, we did. And
but the fact that they did it was so ridiculous.
But because we pulled it back, like, what are you doing? You call it out, like, well, what are you doing? There we are, just blobs in the background.
Did we write that? The post iris stuff?
Yeah.
There I am. There's my handsome face.
Look at that. Talking.
Can you say, look, we're cold, but you can't tell.
I mean, literally, we stick out like sore thumbs. Just happen to be right there in the corner. It's very nice of them to do that.
Thank you, Andrew Dabb and Robert Singer, who, by the way, produced Trilogy of Terror and a million other great things and worked with
Lois and Clark. He was the big kahuna.
Do you think he would come on this show?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
He was the big kahuna on Lois and Clark.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you and thank my very, very special guest, Jeremy Adams.
Oh, I'm glad you could pronounce it correctly.
And who will be giving me the Scoobynatural fleece back momentarily.
Oh, no, I won't.
And rest assured, he'll be on the show again.
Yes,
and,
because we've done tons of things
We've only
together.
Scratched the surface of his varied and confusing career.
Well, yeah, but it's been great to be here, so thank you.
Yes, until next time, we'll be saying goodbye from Jim Krieg's TV Attic.